So what Meta is doing right now, with it was announced 2 weeks before, like I think just at the 2 or 3 week, it has 3 weeks I think has happened to it, just after I think Trump administration took over the house. Basically now the Trump is kind of is a president. So Meta announced basically they are replacing fact checkers with community nodes. So giving kind of a context to viewers who don't know what is fact checkers, who don't know who are fact checkers, and what is fact checker, and don't know what is community nodes, that X or Twitter uses it. So what fact checkers are? So basically fact checkers are a group of people which is independently in kind of an not affiliated. Basically they are not in kind of an inner company of Meta. They are a separate organization who handles multiple things when it comes to fact checking, not just one platform, but Meta is kind of in there, you can say a big part of it, where on basically it's an internet social media platform where stuff get posted. When there is misinformation also get posted, disinformation also get posted, and to fact check those things there are fact checkers where this organization has. So there are multiple fact checkers organization. One of them was with Meta. So Meta was, I think they having the fact checkers are being introduced with or have relationship with Meta since 2016. They are having fact checkers organization helping Meta with fact checking. So what fact checkers does is basically fact check an information if it's true, if it's not good, if it's not it's kind of a misinformation, and if people are just posting for views, if people are posting misinformation for views, it flags. So it flags in the sense they flag it as misinformation and remove from the basically from the platform. And there are multiple things, they remove it, they limit its reach, they limit its kind of on, or even completely remove that post or limit its reach to a certain audience only, or don't even bother it, it will not even go. They will not remove it, but they will not push it even, those kind of things. And then there is disinformation, where I think whenever there is disinformation on the platform, then there is kind of an removal of the post definitely and giving a warning. Those kind of thing happens. But not just misinformation, they do also look forward towards hate speech. They also I think look forward towards fish I think multiple things, but this is their main thing. Like you can say there who catch who does misinformation or disinformation. Disinformation who means the disinformation means that the information that they are giving is not even real, it's just they are creating on it. And the misinformation thing is the part they are telling, like the article that has been posted, the video that has been posted is uh, is in fact good, is in fact uh, let is in fact good, and is in fact not a disinformation with the the information is not created or kind of an, it is it is good, but the facts they are speaking basically, let's say they are saying uh, let's say they are saying kind of, and like it is kind of a misinformation means let's say a person post an article about 100 people have been reported uh, by 100 Apple users, or millions of Apples of users uh, have been like millions of Apple products have been hacked, or millions of Apple iPhones have been hacked. And just for getting some views, it is that guy has posted kind of a million number, which in fact is not true. But the fact is only thousands of iPhones have been hacked, which kind of an misinformation. You know, those kind of things who do it for views, to get reach, but this is where fact checkers come. Fact checkers are a big part of a social media community, and they do well basically, but they are being replaced by the community nodes that X uses for longer period of time to this day. So what is community nodes? Let's talk about what community nodes is. So community nodes is again done by the organization, not by a different organization. Let's say community nodes is done by the people who are using platform. Let's say I am a user of a X. I'm using X for more than at least 6 years. I post it frequently there, and I find information that, like, or a tweet or an article that or a video that has been posted by someone on that flag platform, and then I report it saying it is a misinformation. Here is the article that it is being used. So basically community nodes is basically about, in its name, it's kind of a community thing. So basically if you want to be in community node organization, basically by what X does is basically are the users of X. What they do is basically, if you want to be a part of a community or node fact checkers, you have to at least use X for, I think, for 3 months, and every X user can be a fact checker in the community node fact checking. So it is kind of an self reporting and self thing, which does gives basically, let's say, the information that people are saying right now in front of them, and they are fact checking it, and it is misinformation. So they can provide an article saying this is a fact, and that the posted video or posted tweet or posted even article is basically wrong, and not, this is not how it is. And community node will be down in that node, which will help readers to have context, like platform users to have context, to let them know themselves, okay, the tweet was basically a misinformation or a rage bait kind of a thing, those kind of things, just getting for some views. That is where community news is. But comparing fact checkers with community nodes, basically both are fundamentally, like, even if you can say basically they are same, but they are still different. Community nodes can be, like, I can be a community node fact checker, like every other person who you are on the platform X can be a community node fact checker. And that is where the problem arises, and that is where the concerns arises about community nodes, that it can be manipulated by the people. So basically, let's say a tweet has been tweeted out, and the community node fact checkers want reported it large amount of time and gave kind of an article about it. Let's say that information or the tweet that has been posted, which is not kind of an information, but is a misinformation, and they post, let's say, that is wrong, and this is how the new article, and this is basically corrected one. But you don't know if it's a corrected one or not. The fact checkers basically on community nodes are driven by people. Like, if they want to, let's say, people, most of the concern about community nodes is basically it can be manipulated by its own made platform people. That is why most of the community nodes, like, are kind of an towards, I'm not saying kind of an towards certain people, but I'm trying to say they are not as active as fact checkers, I will definitely say. But fact checkers, but the same concerns can be raised towards fact checkers. Fact checkers can get biased. So basically, like, how people are not have faith in community nodes, that it can be get manipulated, it can be like, even if the proof of article, even if the article they are giving it a note is kind of do not have kind of an context, do not have kind of an, you can say even if the article that has been posted by the community node is not even fact checked, even if the article is wrong, then what's the point of it? You know what I'm trying to say? It can be manipulated in that way. But when you come to fact checkers, people can say the same thing about fact checkers. Let's say if these people fact checkers wants to want doesn't but doesn't wants to basically uh, do the same, like attack certain group of people, attack uh, give fact checking and giving flag, and remain do not basically give that content a boost or remove that content by giving information to Meta, they can do it. Like same argument can be listed for again for the same fact checkers too. But the problem here is the data says it's all. Basically what I mean by that, for like using X for more than 2 years now, and using Instagram, Meta platform, Thread, I think Instagram and Threads has been at least 1 year. Instagram I've been using for like past 5 years, and Facebook I've been using for like the last 1 year. So, and for what I feel the difference between both platforms is when I compare to, I definitely really like the concept of community note, giving a community note in behind if the content is misinformation, disinformation, or if, just a rage bait. I like that thing, but the problem occurs when I see when the problem occurs when it is not it does not do well with every kind of like community note is kind of an, like I can say, people driven. It is not done extensively, like it is not done well enough that majority of the posts that are been discussed or that have been posted, they don't even check if it's a fact check or not. I have seen most of the tweets like past 6 months now, and that they are misinformation, creating rage bait just to get some views, just to get some replies underneath their post, and the community note was not even noted there. Like I was like, why community note is not there? Why community note is acting there? Like this kind of thing. And one of the major things about the community note is it it does not give a kind of an context. But what I like about community notes again is at least we are seeing visibly what why the post is given the community note, and that leaves the proof of things that why they feel to give it a community note under it. But when it comes to fact checkers, let's say when I'm using Meta's platforms for multiple years, when it comes to those, I have been kind of an not a good I personally I don't have kind of an good conversation, or let's say good uh, I'm not getting the words. But personally when it comes to fact checkers, I have not faith in those two. Basically it shows data basically from both after using it for years now, both platforms with community note and the fact checkers, both can be not be trusted at the same time, you can say that. The problem with community note, again I'm saying the same problem can be said for fact checkers. And like I personally do trust more fact checkers than community notes, because community notes, people, anyone can be in the community note and anyone can do just fact checking, and can attack certain kind of posts, can attack certain kind of uh, people. But when it comes to at least fact checkers, they are at least mob of people can't be attacked certain kind of things, but it is still can be biased. It is still can, I'm not denying the fact that lots of people were having this conversation where like are even fact checkers not have their biases? They can do have, like there is no such kind of a neutral thing. But my point here is from both platforms, like from both kind of a method, from community note, from kind of can say, you can say fact checkers, is how about we combine both? Because personally I do want to know why that kind of an information, why that my post, certainly I have done more than 100 articles and posted it on Facebook, why my couple of posts have been removed. Like I still to this day remember when I did a in-depth kind of a research, not in-depth, it was kind of an commentary, or you can say you can commentary, or the situation was going around the Telegram CEO, which was arrested in the last year in basically in Europe. I don't remember. I think in France. I think, yeah. So he was arrested for, basically there were some charges there, and I did a full basically research, full newsletter on it, and I think the title of the video, title of the that newsletter is how, like, about Telegram CEO, and that post got removed the second day. Like it did not, like the second, the I think the first day I posted it, I got notification at the night at 11 p.m. I didn't see it, whatever it is. Then and in the morning I see it when I open my Facebook, that my post has been removed by saying that um, I have been posting this just because they're kind of in, like, the post was reported, the post was being reported by people, or not people, I don't know what about people or fact checkers, or Facebook did it themselves, but that post was removed, and the reason they gave me was I was doing phishing. I was intentionally trying to get people to do phishing. I don't know where they come from, that it was just an article. It was just an article that you can just click on it and read it. That is what our majority of the articles I posted, like that are the newsletters. And it has not just been happened for me once, multiple times to this day, like multiple times that my uh, uh, there are multiple times that from my Facebook posts have been removed, articles have been removed. You can go, I do have some screenshot, I will show it on the screen if I found ones, but I still don't get how fact checkers works. I still don't know how they work. At least I know how community note work, how those things work, how reporting works on platforms, but at least I get to have the context why my posts are getting removed on, and people actually see it, actually, that is my thing, is like, uh, there is no transparency in fact checkers for me, at least how they do it. I'm still making and doing research and getting to know how they do fact checking, but I don't know what kind of transparency they have that people can trust them over community note. Again, I still do have trust on fact checkers more than community notes, because community notes can be get manipulated, but fact checkers have not done their job well too, you see. And one of the things that Zuckerberg kind of pointed out in the Joe Rogan podcast was the biasness, and I do still think that biasness exists everywhere. Like, people will have biases, even journalists have biases, but the main part here is who is providing misinformation, disinformation, uh, hate speech, and also rage baiting, basically those kind of things. And you have to point out that, okay, even if it is someone has been posted by some high profile account, it is kind of a misinformation that he has been providing, disinformation if it is. That is what main point is there. And I don't think Instagram has done it. I don't think even Facebook has done it well. I don't think even Threads does it well, you know. And I don't think even community knows, no any kind of platforms does well when it comes to whatever the misinformation that has been posted on the platform, can do checking, and there has to be certain kind of way, because it gets worse on the platform. And I hope there is some kind of formula like community note, where there will be a note in bit when I watch a reel, or not just me, or even people generally whenever they watch a reel, they don't get information, the important information like political information is not going to get being served to you, and you will not get the whole context of it in just 20 in just 60-minute video, 60-second video, or 2 minute, or even 3 minute. It is a conflict situation. And then when some certain kind of journalist, when certain kind of video creator manipulates that information and borderline tries to cross some limits, then there is kind of misinformation, disinformation does happen. So that has not been solved issue in Instagram, and I don't think their concern is that, because Instagram is getting more towards content creators and getting more towards about how we can provide more features to measure out with the people, rather than thinking about this basic problems they have for been like last 4 to 5 years that I have been using at least. And same is happening on, I think, what X, basically Twitter. At least uh, I don't mind X because the majority of the people don't even use it. Most of that, I think, compared to what Instagram does it with their reels, you know. Same with the YouTube. Like people will not get the whole context of anything with the shorter form content. And what happens because of that, it creates ripple, if like you can say kind of a chains of events of misinformation. And the only people who are correcting it are the people on the platform, rather than the platform itself giving the flag to that content, that how misinformation is that, how if it's kind of a hate speech, if it's kind of a misinformation, platform doesn't work that well, any platform. So basically, going from any kind of from fact checkers to community notes, to fact checkers, both ultimately fail in terms of my eyes. Basically, in my opinion, both are not good. But if you, both are not good, both have their own problems, but I still to this day trust fact checkers more, because community notes is like how, when I saw how they operated, when I saw how everyone can be just a community note poster, I'm like, if they can buy a blue mark with a blue mark, that blue tick mark, a bot can buy it, and do, and people get paid for that, having those kind of rage hateful comments in between, in into the replies. I don't think that's a big thing if there are so many kind of people who are doing community notes, bots or paid people. I don't, like, I can definitely see that too. So those are not good, these are not also like, but comparing, like, both are bad in this situation, both are bad in this situation. But I like fact checkers are a little bit above, but I hope they find a good solution for it, because when I compare both, they are not both good basically. So this is what basically what is, what the war was going also on the internet basically for last, now it has been dulled down, no one even talk about it right now, until and unless there will be a kind of an event happens. But lots of people were talking how community notes is good, lots of people talking how fact checkers are good, neither do both of them are good. Yeah. But I think the major reason to do come from going from fact checkers to community was basically the, I personally think it was political game by Meta, where Trump is a president who is there to kind of an oppose them to get, and you know, at least government is not opposing them to use community notes, because Elon Musk uses, and Elon Musk is close to Trump. Like there is kind of an that kind of political angle that I don't want to go in deep. And lots of things that did happen during Trump inauguration, after 1 week of Trump inauguration by Meta, uh, kind of an having like how Zug go Zug go from community notes to fact checkers to community notes, going to Joe Rogan podcast and saying how censorship because of the government Biden administration, how they had to basically quiet down. Like he also, like, I think posted on threads how on the lockdown, so many things were censored because of government forceful nature. And I'm like, uh, these were things were happening. And he also said that they were not going to censor the sensitive topics, like I think health related topics, I think political topics like immigration in US that happens, censor topics like what X does. Basically there is going to be much more people who are going to be like you, there will be much more post about political content, I think, or much more post about health related, because people like to play around those more, because much more people are interested in health and politics these days. But more you, if you don't be surprised if you get to see more political posts in your for you page on Instagram, or even for you page on Threads, Facebook, you know, because they are not now censoring these issues. I still to this day think that there should be moderation, and the moderation should be personalized. Like at least I like what Threads has done basically past 2 months, where they have given the ultimately custom feeds. You can do whatever you want, kind of a personal feed, and make it public now. So basically, let's say I have created a kind of an like this 10 to 15 people thread. I can add up to 120 people in one feed that have been created, and I can basically share it to public. This is the thread, this is the basically feed I have created. You can join it too, and you can join it and see it too, like enjoy it. So basically it's kind of a community, no, it's kind of like a community on X, but a kind of an giving a personalized touch to everyone. Like everyone can create a feed of their own, like how I have created a tech feed where whatever the tech news happens, posted on those posted by those like platforms like Verge, 9 to 5 Mac, 9 to 5 Google, those will be posted on that only one feed. So I don't have to follow those people or like those organizations. I just have to add them to my feed, and that is what great with the feed says. And I also praise them so much lot for that. So at least they are going towards right direction there. But I don't know how backfires it, the fact checkers kind of thing will backfire it. I still, they have not, like it will be done in obviously first US, then Australia, then Europe. I don't think worldwide that is how it works. So for now the fact checking thing, this is what it is. A lot of political, like a lot of changes did happen to a lot of platforms due to political factors. But most of the people, especially let's say like how OpenAI wants a kind of a big like OpenAI how have gotten big kind of an investment of like they are doing 500 $500 billion of investment people are going to do, and government has given them permission to do multiple facilities. Then Microsoft is like if you have seen the inauguration picture, how billionaires were there because they want to get their stuff done. That is why they have to ultimately. I don't think ultimately like these big giant companies care about that much which administration is there. Like even if it was not Trump, they would have gone and they wanted to the company, they like every company, Meta, X, like let's say X, every social media company, every big company like Amazon too wants to be under the government, wants to be good friends with any government that comes. But this is kind of a favored government that they always want, I think they wanted to be, and they can have much more kind of an can be able to do with, I think, Trump administration than the before Democratic Party was there. I don't know how will this turns out. The Stargate project is a big project that has been approved by government there. Then there is a lot of things that has been approved, but I think let's see how it goes, how like you, as you can see, it is always not simple as that is. Like how with government changing, like they have to look into a lot of things, because in a company millions thousands of people are working there.